quiet seaside town, an evil laid to rest centuries ago, has risen. An abandoned fortress deep in the swamp holds a secret that could save the village or destroy it. Now, a band of adventurers sets out to dig up the wounds of the past and bring the light of day to the roots of ruin. This is Tabletop Gold.
Hello, friends, and welcome to another edition of Tabletop Gold, our ongoing series, The Roots of Ruin, a production of the Abomination Vault's Adventure Path by Paizo for the Pathfinder 2nd Edition role-playing game thing. Have I said my name? No. Hi, I'm Lars Casteen, and I'm going to be your host, and I'm joined tonight, as always, by these four fine friends. Zoe Chernicoff is here.
Good that time.
Robin Lange is here.
To world peace.
Drinking a vermouth. What is that drink of the Rita that Robin's drinking?
It's the rocks with
the Rita, the vermouth on the rocks with a twist.
Sweet vermouth on the rocks.
That's the thing that I thought tasted like a Coca-Cola. So in my mind, I was like, it's vermouth and Coke? Is that what this drink is? And I was like, no.
It does have the same, I have a feeling they have similar spices in the distilling process.
I agree. I bet you vermouth, maybe like a vermouth is part of the Coke formula. Maybe Coca-Cola is going to send like a strike team to stop us from getting too close to finding their hidden secrets.
Oh no.
There's a chance. But you know, there's a greater chance of me saying hello to Armat Humphreys.
Good that time, Lars.
Good that time. And David, the Tin Man Chernicoff, is here as well.
Good that time.
Good that time. Before we get into our game, we're midway through a pretty intense situation. I'm very excited to join back up with the action. But before we do that, we have to talk about something else. And the thing that I want to talk about this week is I recently went back and revisited something to show my wife. My wife had not seen this thing ever. And I was like, oh, you haven't seen that? We should watch this thing. And we sat down and we watched it. And there's a feeling sometimes when you return to something from that you liked as a kid or a teenager or as a younger person, whatever, where you go back to it and it's not as good as you remember it. Like the time shines through more than the quality of the work. That is not what happened with this thing that my wife and I watched. It was good. So the question that I have for you is, what is something that you enjoyed as a younger person that when you returned back to it, you were like, I was right. This thing is still good. I had good taste back in the day. I will start things off by telling you that the thing that I watched with my wife is the Eddie Izzard comedy special, Dress to Kill.
Yes!
Nice.
It's so good.
And I said to my wife,
flag.
I said to my wife, I bet you Robin loves this thing.
I have it on VHS somewhere still.
Yeah, so that comedy special,
college friends and I still quote it to each other in text messages.
I had this moment of like watching it and realizing like 90% of what I did with my friends when I was in high school was watch various Eddie Izzard comedy specials. Like it is like watching that thing back, it's something that I haven't returned to. I haven't gone back to that special before, like since watching it as a teenager. And I realized like, oh no, a huge part of what I think is funny, a huge part of like what I like is I just like reached into that special and just like yanked it out. And I was like, there's my sense of humor. It's just like that thing. And she loved it. I don't know if you haven't seen it. It's a 2-hour long-ish comedy special that was produced by somebody that aired at the time on HBO, which is how I was exposed to it. It's very, very funny. It's a stream of conscious styled comedy special, Eddie Izzard. If you haven't seen any of her stuff, like it's worth going to like check it out. That's the thing. That's my thing. Armet,
Bees.
do you have anything that you went back to and that you enjoy?
Yeah, I actually recently, I love that special also, by the way.
I
It
can't
is
believe
so
how
good.
much I liked it again this time. Really.
Totally. I feel like it's one of those things that just gets ingrained in your brain. So like at any point, if someone says a line from it, you can respond.
Yeah, totally.
But
Chicken or fish?
oh,
Life
look,
or death?
a creeping kid.
Okay.
Sorry, I can't help it.
I recently went back and rewatched Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Oh,
and
sure.
that show rules. Totally holds up. It's super weird. The like crazy ending of it, I loved even more. This time it goes like totally abstract. I think it holds up totally.
And no spoilers.
The popular anime series Neon Genesis Evangelion that I would say holds up because I still haven't been able to get through it. It still is too dark and too messed up for me. I can't watch that thing. It's like too, like it stresses me out as much now as it stressed me out the first time I saw it 20 years ago.
It's an intense series. I also have a quick alternate highlight, which is Duncan Sheik's "Barely Breathing." I love that song.
That song,
and
Barely
I still
Breathing?
love that song. Yeah,
An okay sign from David.
Breathing.
Great choice.
Thank you. I put it on before we started recording just to confirm that still is.
That it still holds
And
up.
yeah,
And it does.
it's a banger.
Oh,
Even
man.
today.
Even today. Anybody else have anything for this?
I have 3 things.
Okay.
I'll give them in rapid fire succession because as you can hear, I sound great today.
It sounds like you
lay
should
them on you.
speak at incredible. No, okay. Quickly.
Fully manufactured creamy peanut butter. Like, give me the sugar, give me the
The
salt.
Jif special.
Jif, Skippy. I had like all natural peanut butter growing up. Bullshit. Just give me processed.
The 80s Latchkey Kid special of peanut
Yep.
butter.
The book, The Phantom Toll Booth.
Okay.
I could read that book an infinite number of times.
I
Never
haven't
gonna
gone
get
back
bad.
to that ever, so I
We were
should do
talking
that
about
too.
that recently.
Yeah, me
And
too.
what is indisputably, and I'm not here for other opinions on this, the best Christmas movie of all times, which is A Muppet Christmas Carol.
I enjoy a Muppet Christmas Carol. What could
That's good because otherwise it sounds like you'd have a real
otherwise I'd
issue
hang up
on
and
your
you'd
hands.
never see me again.
Yeah.
Has anyone noticed, and I blame this on a meme that I saw,
Mm.
how Gonzo's outfit in that movie is the exact same as Timothy Chalamet's outfit in the new Wonka movie?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
so good.
I saw a side-by-side photo of Timothée Chalamet and Gonzo next to each other. They just went through they just did Gonzo. They just Gonzo'd this guy.
You know, it's actually the same physical garments.
Right.
They were just the right
They were like,
size.
this is the
Right.
only thing we have in your size, Timothy Chalamet.
Luckily, it works. Though.
It works great. Yeah.
It's a good thing A Christmas Carol was not set in like the Holy Roman Empire or whatever, because then would have been tough for Willy
A
Wonka.
toga it'd be messed up. Doesn't make any sense. Sorry, go ahead, Robin.
Oh wow!
I feel like
that
this is a
is
question where
uncanny.
like you get these feelings about it as you kind of revisit certain memories, certain things. So I'm sure I have more things that fit into it, but a recent one was I actually have not rewatched Hocus Pocus in a very long time,
Mhm.
and at some point in October, my husband we were hanging out with some friends. My husband was iffy on whether or not he'd ever seen it, so we decided we had to watch it, and I still really enjoyed it.
Still works.
Still a good
Nice.
movie.
I feel like I don't enjoy Nightmare Before Christmas as much as I did through my 20s. Now
Yeah.
that I'm older, I still like it, but it's not quite. I don't like it quite as much anymore. Because I remember seeing that like the weekend it came out when I was in 6th grade.
Yeah.
No, early. I was in 4th grade. I was young.
That movie experience for me was one of those like nobody I know will go to watch this movie with me. It was like a rare like me by myself in a movie theater experience, and I absolutely loved it at the time.
Yeah.
Did you watch Hocus Pocus 2 yet? They made that sequel for Disney Plus like 2 years ago.
Even though part of it was filmed in my neighborhood
Oh.
back when I lived in Queens, no, I have not had a lot of interest in watching that.
Yeah, me neither.
It's okay. It's
Oh,
not
it's
the
okay.
first one.
Yeah, it's like I
It's
don't know that I
not
want to spend an
terrible.
hour and a half on
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
There are other
I mean,
things I want to watch.
it's no Godfather 2, but
But it's
things
close.
are.
It's
but we
it's-
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think for what it was.
Maybe a bit more like Matrix 2.
Matrix 2 is all right. It's sort of bad. It's sort of all right. I don't know. There's some stuff in that movie. That movie is interesting. That's an interesting. I don't know. It's an all right movie.
Albino twins. That was the second one, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was the second one. The
Yeah, that
ghosts
was a
that
fun
fly
one.
into the backseat of your
Yeah.
car and then stab you a bunch. That's nuts. It's horrible. Imagine if that happened to you. You'd hate it.
Listen, it's no Empire Strikes Back, but it's good for what it was.
It's okay. David. I'm waiting now for David to be like the thing I went back to that I enjoyed as a kid. Citizen Kane.
Yeah, that's right. I know exactly the feeling that you're getting at. I've mostly had the opposite thing of being, disappointed by
Oh,
something.
for sure.
And most of the things that have come to mind in this conversation are, I guess, things I enjoyed as a kid that I didn't have any doubt about. Like, I was pretty sure, Monty Python and the Holy Grail would still be good, kind of thing.
Mhm.
So, like, yep, that's still good. I don't know that my answers are as illuminating, but I will just perhaps to bring this full circle point out that one good example of this is Groundhog Day. In fact,
Yeah.
which is a tremendous movie, and
For the
we
drink
have-
recipes alone.
I think of it as a cookbook. Yes, above all. No, we watch it. We have watched it not quite every year on Groundhog Day, but most years on Groundhog Day, or we manage it. Or
That's awesome.
I guess since having kids, most of it before passing out because we're exhausted. It's really good. Like I mostly came to it later in life, remembering sort of like enjoying it and thinking it was going to be kind of silly, and there's actually like a lot of depth to it. It's very funny, and it plays it pretty real in a way that's very, very satisfying.
It reaches pretty deep, for sure.
Yeah, and on multiple rewatches, like there's more. There's lots of there's lots to find if you watch it more than once, which is also very thematically appropriate.
Yeah. Well, I'm so happy we had this conversation. I feel like armed with all kinds of new stuff to go back and check out. This is what do I have to go see? Hocus
It's certainly
Pocus,
better than
Muppet Christmas
things
Carol.
constantly making me feel old.
Yeah, there you go.
Like realizing how long ago certain albums came out that I thought were much more recent.
Yeah. It's weird how the numbers just keep getting on bigger. It's a real mess.
Here's one I thought about the other day. Jagged Little Pill came out 150 years ago.
That's about right.
Yeah.
It was, I believe, that was the first the first CD I ever bought.
Right at the
Ooh, there's
When
a
CDs first
conversation
came out
topic.
100 years ago.
Yeah, it's true. That's been out for a long time. But you know what hasn't been out for really all that long? Is
These reviews.
this review that we got on
Okay.
Podcast Addict. We get these reviews. A lot of people listen to our show. A lot of people take the time to leave reviews. It is something that we are always grateful for. We are super lucky that we have such a vocal community, leaving reviews like this one on Podcast Addict from Stoodley, who says, I have assurance that this is worth your time.
Hey-o.
Hey-o!
You like that one, David?
Oh, I hope it's better than the assurance in the game.
Me too. Yeah, maybe this is actually like have we been insulted? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, is that a negative review? I'm
I don't know.
down the
Weird.
rabbit hole here.
Okay, speaking of the rabbit hole, let's get into it. Let's play our game.
Thank you, Stoodley.
Thank you, Stoodley. Thank you so much, Stoodley. Your fight to save Doriana Menhemez from the psychic torment of the Motley Man continues. When you entered the dormitory room of the denizen of Lange, also known as Esond Kalir, he revealed to you that his plans for Doriana include pulling her into the plane of dreams where he and others like him will feed upon her. Already, he has psychically pried your young friend's hand away from her body, so you are now locked in combat with Esond Kalir and a giant-sized version of Doriana's hand. Now, it seems, it's not just Doriana whose story might be finished by the Motley Man, but yours as well. So here's the situation. You are in a cramped room, right before this fight broke out, Isan Kalir opened a hidden passageway in the northwestern corner of the room and backed into a hall to give himself some extra room. He's magically laid a hypnotic pattern around the room, which is dazzling and fascinating all of you. In the southern half of the room, Ao has been all on her own. She's been grabbed around the shoulders by Doriana's hand, this like large disembodied hand the size of a torso. And she's been struggling to get it to drop its guard, and it's been a mess. And what has just happened as we're picking up is that Ao has sliced into the hand with her kukri as it is grabbing her. And this gash in the hand has started spraying a disgusting pus in her face. So,
Gross.
good times being had by all. This is episode 129. We're breaking off a new 5 next time. So this is use them or lose them territory for hero points.
Oh.
More
So
like
Zoe,
good
the
pus
first thing we have to
time, am I
resolve,
right?
you've got 2 more actions on your turn, but before we're going to do that, this spray of pus is going to be something that we have to deal with. So what this is a...
Boy, if I had a nickel, Lars.
I was going to say, there's a bit here.
Usually a doctor is the person telling you
Don't
that.
like this bit.
So this is going to be negative damage coming your way. There's a reflex save, to see what the outcome is. I'm just going to roll the damage now. This is 16 points of negative damage coming to Ao, and Zoe, I need you to please make this reflex save. As this negative energy pours out of this slash that you put into the hand. How did you do?
That's a 28.
That's a critical success.
Oh.
You take no damage.
Nice.
So this spray of pus and negative energy flies in Ao's face. Ao deftly dodges out of the way, and you are unaffected.
I imagine it's like a Looney Tunes silhouette of her. Like it's pus all around, like the shape of her ears and her head.
Just on like the wall behind you?
Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
Perfect. Beautiful.
Like Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
There's something that I want to adjudicate with you. The fascinated condition says that fascinated ends if anybody does anything hostile to your allies. I think that this thing of it spraying pus out, I want to argue that's not hostile. That's just like it's just got cut open.
It's just something the body does
Well,
when
It's
you
just
cut
something
it.
the body does.
Oh, if a creature uses a hostile action.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't have to just be a Sant Kalir.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
So Ao has 2 more actions. Ao is grabbed. Ao is dazzled. Ao is inspired by Trill's song. And many other situations as well.
Ao
What
is
will Ao do?
flailing. I think the pus flying at her, and she's not usually directly in the line of battle. Sometimes she charges in the end. So I think she decides to try something new to see if she can engage this hand. And as she's dodging the pus, she also tries to feint to see if she can get a flat-footed advantage on this hand.
Oh, very exciting. So feint is going to be a deception check against your target's perception DC. It's also in basic action macros if you want to use it from there, Zoe.
I do, Lars. I do. All right, that's a 31.
It's a 31 versus perception DC. Let me just double check that. So that is not quite a critical success, but it is a success. And I want to flag something for Robin before we resolve the rest of this. Feint is a mental effect. Trill is of the belief that this hand is immune to mental effects. And yet this hand dodges out of the way as though it has been tricked by Ao, setting itself up to be hit. So it turns out I lied to you about that again.
Cool. Cool. When that popped up in the feed on Foundry, I saw that mental trait and I thought, that hand's going to be immune to that.
Nope.
Cool. I mean, I can't cast any spells right now anyway because I'm fascinated, but, cool. Thanks.
You're welcome. I hope
Maybe
everybody's
someday.
having fun. Okay.
I love that this is your new running bit.
I
What can
love
lie
this.
to
This is
Robin
my
about?
new favorite bit. So Zoe, yes, that's correct. The hand leans incorrectly in the wrong direction and is now flat-footed to your next attack.
So AO takes one more quick stab with the kukri.
Okay, second attack of the round, so this can be at a multiple attack penalty.
Okay, so I had to do, because of I'm dazzled, I had to do a flat check.
Right.
That was a 19, which is higher than 5.
It is.
So my understanding is that's good for me, bad for you.
Yes.
And then on the hit, that's a 21 to hit.
21 to hit hits only because AO just juked out of the way, feinted in one direction, and made this creature flat-footed. For successfully doing that, let's throw a hero point AO's way.
We could also, Trill's Inspire Courage probably helped there too, right?
I already have 3. He won't give me another one.
And it was not the difference
I want
maker.
the hero point. I'm just trying to be kind.
Credit where credit is due.
It was the flat-footed. The flat-footed, since that's a +2, that pushed you where you needed to go.
Yeah, no, that was the feint was the big deal there.
And that is 25 points of damage.
25 points of damage as
Dang.
AO catches a weak point in the giant crawling hand, in Doriana's beautiful hand, inflated to terror size.
Eldritch Trickster broken what?
Yeah, well, okay. And so what that means is that this giant crawling hand is looking very, very badly off. Huge turn from AO, and that means that Zoe doesn't need to talk again for a little while. We can rest Zoe's voice for at least a moment. No, just kidding, because it's the hand's turn. Okay, it's the hand's turn, and here's what's going to happen. The hand is going to re-up the grab on AO. So it's going to attempt... sorry, it's not going to re-up the grab. It's just going to try to slash at AO.
I thought you were going to say slap. I like the idea that one of its fingers just like slaps her face.
Yeah, a face-sized index finger reaches up and slaps AO across the face.
So it's not slapping because a hand, something that's just a hand slapping would be like a body slam. It's just using one finger to sort of flick.
Yeah, it's almost a headbutt almost, sort of. If you think about it, it's both a slap, a claw, and a head. Anyway, I rolled a 19 on the die. That's a 34 to hit.
Whoa.
Okay, so that is going to be a critical hit. But here's some good news for me. You just gave me a hero point card. And we have a great hero point card here for someone who has been critically hit.
What?
It's called You Got a License for that. I'm going to go ahead and use it. It says a tiny portal appears and a devil flies out, obviously.
Okay.
It's a floor with devils. It makes sense that
It does.
there's
It makes perfect
trapdoors. Going to the enemy that landed the hit. If I had more voice, I'd try and do a devil voice, but instead I'll just do it in my voice, which sounds like a devil voice. And the devil says, right, what do we have here? You just landed a really bit there. You got a license for that? And Lars, you lose all your remaining actions and become stunned 1.
Okay, that's it for the hand, I guess. Thank you.
I think I still take the critical hit, though. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I think you still take the damage from that. Thank you to Commissar Mitch for that hero point card. So
Thank you, Mitch.
So
Thank you,
so
Mitch.
AO is going to take this critical damage, which is bad. It's 32 points of damage as this headbutt slap claw from this index finger slams her in the face. But then this situation of this devil happens, and I lose all my actions and I'm stunned, which is really terrible because the next thing I was going to do was grab you for free. And if I don't have actions, I can't do that, which means that the hand is going to have to release that grab at the end of its turn.
And
Hey.
point of order, Lars.
Yes.
This is a creature using a hostile action against you or any of your allies. So doesn't that affect Fascinated?
Fascinated clears. All
For
of you.
just AO for everyone.
For everybody. All of you see this hand reach up and just poof, I mean, it makes sense, right? The hand like slams the hell out of Ao, then a devil appears in the room. It's like something far more interesting than this pattern.
I see. So our focus might shift as a result of all that.
Yeah, I think so. I think it
Okay.
might.
Are we still dazzled as well?
Yes, you are still dazzled. The light patterning of this hypnotic pattern is still intense enough that you are still dazzled as long as the spell is maintained.
We're
sustained.
like seeing those weird red and green shapey things.
Yeah, it's like you just
No.
shoved your fingers into your own eyes for a while, and that just as good now as it was when you were a kid. By the way, you should give it a try.
That's so true. Okay, when you do that, like,
Uh-huh.
and you keep doing it for a while, does it
Uh-huh.
kind of like change? Like, do you get?
Oh
a thing
yeah,
where
yeah. It gets better
At
and
first,
better
it's sort
as
of
you go.
big blotches of color, but then when you keep doing it, it becomes like almost geometric patterns. Like they're more kind of right angles, and they expand out from the middle.
I think that the thing you're describing is exactly what it is that I've experienced to the tiniest detail for sure.
Can I just say, I've been wondering whether other people saw that exact thing when they did that exact thing since I was like 6, and it's the first time I've ever brought it up. So this is a pretty big relief for me.
Unfortunately, it's also more or less what is happening to Magdaruna Lacewing Skullcrusher as her turn begins. She's seeing these geometric patterns in front of her face, no longer fascinated by this strange pattern, this argyle, this green and pink argyle fluctuating in front of her. No longer fascinating her, but still making it hard for her to get a good visual glimpse on just about anything. Her turn's going to start off. She is standing on one side of a doorway, and Asand Kalir, the denizen of Lange, is waiting on the other side of that doorway. What is Mag going to do?
Well, it's been a while since it made much sense for Magdaruna to try for a knockdown. Oh, no, knockdown has a new name?
Mm-mm.
No, okay.
We haven't remastered yet. Knockdown
No.
will have a new name.
We will have a new name. We're pre-mastered.
We're pre-master.
Oh, the pre-master cycle. Yeah.
Yes.
So it is still
we
from-
are pre-mastered right now.
Oh,
Sad to say.
you know, I bet that
This is a
holds
lot.
up too, because that was
Yeah.
really good.
Totally.
I was not expecting to like the Cremaster cycle, and boy, did it impress me.
I haven't seen it. Are you being sincere? Is it genuinely
Totally sincere.
Cool.
High concept art, not really my thing. That thing, I was like, wow, hats off. I get it.
I want to see it now. You know what
Yeah.
else I want to see though is what you're going to do on your turn.
Ooh.
Oh, sure. A knockdown.
Oh, yeah.
So that's my first two actions. Is going to make a melee strike against Isan Kalir. And then when it's done, I'm going to roll an athletics check to try and trip with no map.
Okay, so I am rooting for Dazzle to totally screw you over right now.
And okay. So it looks as though
That shit-eating grin on Lars.
that is the purest joy I've seen on Lars's face in weeks.
David, what are you talking about? What did you roll on your die? People want to know.
I rolled a 3. I failed the flat check. I'm going to use a hero point and re-roll that.
Okay, just on the flat check though.
Just on the flat check.
Okay.
So here
Wait, but
is
David- Well,
another...
okay.
Oh, no, I guess I also... Well,
How'd you do on your attack roll?
shitty. Can I hero point like the whole damn yay? Or
I don't
do I have
think
to pick?
I don't think you can. I think you can only hero point one of
So
these
there
rolls
isn't any
based on a
point in
trigger.
hero pointing the thing because I missed... I'm going to miss the attack
I don't know
anyway.
which is funnier, to hero point the dazzled thing and then get to the miss, or to hero point the miss but still be dazzled. Like, either one is hilarious.
Yeah, they're both really funny.
Okay. Well, I guess there go those two actions.
Yeah.
So I guess Mag takes a big wind up and swings in the direction she believes Isan Kalir to be in. But because her eyes are still so doing that geometric thing that I was talking about a little bit ago, she just swings and misses, and the Earthbreaker crashes into the wall above Isan Kalir's shoulder. All right, I think taking a second whack is better than failing an intimidation check, which was going to be my other option. So let's go ahead and make another strike. And failed the flat check again. That's a 1 on the die for the flat check. So Mag dislodges her hammer from the wall, whips it back around in as broad an arc as she can manage, completely whiffs, and it lands back in another spot on the wall, back in the main room, just barely missing Istin on the way by. And that is probably a metaphor for something. And Mag's turn is over.
I like to think it's all the pus from the hand that no one has been concerned about at all. That's now just made everything
it's like
very
slipping up the
slippery.
hammer, maybe?
Could be, yeah.
Yeah.
This pattern is creating a much larger problem for everyone than I was even daring to hope it would. This is great. At the beginning of Hassan Clear's turn, you see that some energy from another dimension funnels into him, and he is healed for a little bit of damage at the beginning of his turn. Hassan Clear's turn is going to be real simple. For one action, he is going to sustain the hypnotic pattern. And for the second
Does that
action,
trigger an attack of opportunity?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Like, it's not a new spell, but it might involve the same kind of movement.
Yeah, this does not seem as though it does. But the next thing that I could do will. He casts another spell.
Okay, yeah. So let's...
Starts moving his hands, taking a manipulate action.
And as he does, Mag is going to wind up and miss him again, presumably.
I hope so.
A third big swing for Mag, and that's another failure on the DC 5 flat check.
Okay.
That one, I rolled a 3 that time. So that's 3, 1, and 3 on the flat checks. Is there some action you can take to de-dazzle yourself? I know it's too late for me, but just out of curiosity.
Not built into Dazzle, but if you can get out of the area of the spell, or if you can get rid of the spell in some other way, like if he doesn't sustain it, yes.
Right, okay. But there's no, like, I use my first action to go, and then, your eyes are clear.
I don't think so. I'm not aware of anything like that. That's a reasonable enough question that I'll double check it. No, your eyes are overstimulated. If vision is your only precise sense, all creatures and objects are concealed from you. That's just the deal.
Well, maybe we'll get a visual retch in the remaster.
So speaking of visual retching, here's what happens. After you miss with that hammer strike, you see that now there are suddenly 4 of Hassan Clear standing in front of you, which sucks. And you see his various flowing garments almost look like they're shifting in and out of each other as 4 identical Hassan Clears now stand in front of Mag, as I have chosen the path of being as annoying as possible in this encounter.
Whoa, so now I got to pass 2 flat checks in order to hit?
Yeah.
Wow, that's going to be tough because I can't pass 1.
It is now Istin's turn, as Istin sees Mag flailing, swinging repeatedly, just pinwheeling all over the place, and then suddenly Hassan Clear multiplies. What is Istin going to do?
So as soon as his attention is sort of released from the hypnotic pattern, Istin starts measuring his breathing and starting to go through the somatic gestures he uses to cast Electric Arc. So a blast of electricity is going to go from the hand to one of these Sondkaliers, potentially, hopefully
the right one. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay. We'll resolve this all one step at a time. That flat check to see if you were dazzled. I got 1 flat check from you. Can I get a second one? Let's say that first one applies to a Sondkalier. Let's get a second flat check to apply to the hand.
Okay. Got a 13 and a 16.
Okay.
So I think we're good.
So the targeting works fine for both of those in terms of the dazzled. Hassan Clear, you see that your spell just moves towards the towards its target. There's nothing involving that. This spell that Asan Clear has passed doesn't interfere with your electric arc at all. So what that means is that both Asan Clear and this hand are going to make reflex saves. One can only imagine that the hand's reflex save is not probably that great. Okay, I got two successes. I got a 30 and a 25 from Asan Clear in the hand, respectively. So I'm going to take half damage.
Wow, bad damage roll, too. 14 damage.
Okay, both of them are still up as Isthin's electricity surges and arcs around the room. The hand, though, looks very, very badly injured.
Yeah, and I think Isthin is going to then switch to trying to just, in a big overhand swipe, smash the hand with his staff. 20 on the dazzled check, flat check.
Okay.
21 to hit?
That misses.
No! And that's it for his turn.
Okay. I'm feeling pretty good about this. This is a shocking turn of events for me.
It's a really different fight than I don't think we've had something quite like this.
Yeah.
Where there's all of this misdirection that we need to that the party needs to see its way through.
Yeah, there's a lot of this kind of stuff in the game, but it doesn't come up all that often in the adventures that I've run.
This reminds me a little bit of our first fight against. It was on the second floor
with Graalgust.
With the our first fight with the Graalgust, and that
where I got the rules for mirror image incorrect.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I might get them correct this time, guys, because it's the top of round 3, and here's the situation. The 4 of you are still in this very tight bedroom. There are cushions and pillows all around the western edge of it, maps covering the wall. And this hypnotic pattern continues to undulate and dazzle you while you're standing here. There's this crawling hand, stunned, motionless, standing right next to Ao. And out in the hallway is Asan Clear. 4 images of him standing. It is now Trill's turn. What is Trill going to do?
Armat stole my thunder.
Oh, stole your lightning. Right?
but
I was going to say,
more literally. But anyway, so Trill sees that there was some damage. Some of the electric arc went through, and Trill's going to continue on that track, and she's going to cast electric arc as well, targeting both of them.
Okay. So got one flat check.
So that flat check was a 15.
Okay, that's Asan Clear's. Can you give me another flat check for our friend the hand?
Oh, why did it only give me one?
That's just the way it's doing it. The system doesn't
because Lars
doesn't
is
understand.
Cheating.
I'm cheating. I might be cheating. I don't think I am. I was looking it up. I don't think I am.
That's a 16 on the other roll.
Okay, so 15 and 16 flat checks are all good. We're getting more reflex saving throws from Asan Clear and the giant crawling hand. Both of them look like they could be failures. A 21 and a 22. We're looking at really bad rolls. A 2 from Asan Clear and and an 11 from the hand.
And they're both failures.
Okay, so they're both going to take full damage.
Let's see that damage, baby.
What that damage do?
That damage is 18.
All right.
Okay.
Nice. Way to go, Trill.
That's huge. Ao was brief moments ago looking for some help with this hand, and help seems to have come in the form of 2 quick jolts of electricity.
I got your back, Ao.
As Doriana's hand, as it is surging with electricity, it just fades out of existence in front of you.
I knew it wasn't Doriana's hand.
And Asan Clear says,
No, it was Doriana's hand.
Wait, what?
Trill's upset now.
as he intones into your mind from the hallway.
So Trill was able to hit Asan Kalir as well?
Yes. 18
Even
points
with
of
his-
damage to
His weird
Asan
4
Kalir.
images. Fabulous.
Yeah, it seems like this spell does not provide any assistance against saving throws.
Nice.
Okay, so for Trills, have we figured out what his strengths and weaknesses are? What Hassan Clear's strengths and weaknesses are yet?
I don't know that Trill has much confidence about anything that she knows, given that what she thought she knew about the hand was incorrect. So I'm not sure if you've done any checks against Hassan Clear. But
okay,
if
so in this,
Yeah.
so for this last action, then I'll do a recall knowledge to see if she can figure out things like his saving throw. This is saves.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a blind occultism check, please.
Guessing he's not so fortitude.
Okay. So you know that Hassan Kalir is a denizen of Lange, and you know some things about denizens of Lange. But you don't know if there's anything special about Hassan Kalir. Like, you don't have a sense of exactly like what spells he's using or anything like that. Do you have any questions generally about denizens of Lange that you want me to answer?
Is there any, I guess, any immunities that denizens of Lange tend to have?
Yeah, and I think I may have already told you this, so I'm going to give it to you for free. They're immune to cold.
Okay. So they're immune to cold.
They come from the plane of Lange, an icy place that they sail around on cool black sailboats, is my understanding. Maybe cool isn't the right word. Horrifying black sailboats.
Thermodynamically correct, though.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Armet.
That sounds pretty cool.
I knew you'd have my back on that.
Yeah.
Anything else you want?
Probably. What do you think, guys? So we're not going to get saving throws for whatever I rolled, but
No, I'll give you a saving throw. Do you want you want a low save?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hassan Kalir does not look particularly sturdy. He's moving very lithely, but it seems like his fortitude is probably his worst save.
So he's probably got similar stats to Trill or similar ratio of stats.
Could be.
Don't give him a loot. We'll be in trouble.
Probably reflex highest, will in the middle, maybe.
Yeah. So you got
So
pretty
tripping him
lucky
will
on
be
that
hard.
reflex save with that electric arc, because reflex is really not the way you want to go.
Yeah,
with
he
this
rolled
guy.
a 2 on that, I believe.
So as Trill shares that information, it is now Ao's turn. Ao, now this silhouette of pus on the wall behind her with no source. The hand is just gone. What is Ao going to do?
Talk to me about her line of sight to Hassan Kalir.
Yeah, let's take a look. I'd say that Hassan Kalir probably has cover, like standard cover from you, which means that that he'll get a +2 to his armor class if you target him from where you are now.
Okay. I think Ao is frustrated and also fairly hurt. So we know he's resistant to cold damage, but we don't know anything about any weaknesses on damage, right?
You don't know of any weaknesses. That's correct.
All right, Ao's going to do a recall knowledge to see if she can find out if he's weak to any kinds of damage.
Okay, give me a blind occultism check, please. So, I'll tell you that you don't know of any weaknesses that he has, but you do have a sense of, like, there's a pit in your stomach as you realize that the fact that he sort of exists in 2 dimensions simultaneously, he's phasing in and out of existence constantly. Your precision damage that you do when you apply sneak attack, he's resistant to it.
Okay. Well, Ao is just going to fling all the pus she can conjure with her TKP at him.
Okay.
So classic TKP.
That sounds like some gross damage.
Yeah, it's going to do
That's
some
gross
gross damage.
Yeah.
So, great. So let's get an attack roll then for the TKP.
It's a 23.
Okay, so that is a miss, which means that one of these images of himself standing next to him gets clobbered in the face by this goop that you're throwing across the room, and it disappears. So now there are only 3 images of Hassan Kalir remaining. Sorry,
Nice.
I also need a flat check from you for the dazed, or for the dazzled.
That's a 20.
Okay, that works.
Oh, I haven't rolled.
Yes, it's a
roll
D20,
D20. It's a 13. We're in
13
like
passes.
an Abbott and Costello bit with these rolls.
Yes, so that's exactly what happens. Ao manages to get a look at this. Edison Clear throws this thing and manages to destroy one of their images, which is no small progress, to be sure. As this goop flies over Mag's head, it is now Mag's turn. David, thinking it through, a little bit of a difficult situation. Mag, dazzled, obviously, we know that from last turn. And there are 3 of this guy standing in front of her. This is a circumstance where Mag might struggle. What do you think we're looking at, David? If only you could get on the other side of him. Somehow.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. And basically, I'm wondering if I could use the act of walking, of moving to the other side and like tumbling through as a way to assess the corporeal existence of one of the forms. Like, you know what I mean? Can I like try to walk directly at one of them? And then if I don't need to tumble through it, I know that it's kind of a weird twofer.
Yeah,
would that cost me an extra action? Could I make a play that as spending 2 actions to walk to the other side and on the way use the tumble through to sort of like make a reality check against one of these 3 Isand Kalirs?
Here's what I'm going to say. Let's flavor this however we want to. And what we're going to ask for mechanically, or what I'm going to ask for mechanically, is a tumble through and an attack, basically.
Okay, but I was the sort of pitch was that my subsequent melee strike as my 3rd action would not have to come at a map. But you're basically saying sorry, buddy.
I think that's just sort of cheating. I think is kind of where I come down on that one.
That makes sense.
Hey, you gotta ask. If you don't ask, I'm not gonna let you cheat. So
that's
sure.
right. And I don't even understand the game well enough to know that that's cheating. So,
and I'm not upset about it. I just can't. I cannot countenance.
Can't allow it. No,
buffoonery.
I get it. But yeah, that's still gonna be the plan.
Okay.
I'll do it in the other order. I'll hit it, and then I'll take the map on the attempt to get past it.
The tumble is not an attack, so there's no map there.
Great. But then wait, what would be the attack? Oh, the attack is just like swiping at one of these things as I walk by.
Exactly.
Check. I'll take the penalty on that attempt. All right, so then action number 1 is going to be a strike. A hammer strike. My flat check was a 5.
Hey, you pass. Nice.
Hey.
Nice.
Okay, it's a 23 to hit.
That misses, which means, but not a critical miss, which means that you swipe through another of these images and it disappears.
Okay, all right.
Nice.
And then with my next action, I want to move to Isand Kalir's opposite side.
Sure. So that means you're going to essentially be rolling around a corner. This hallway continues to the south, so you can tumble and then get down to the next corner. I'm going to tell you, you don't have a great chance of this.
Okay.
It's going to be acrobatics versus reflex.
Oh, versus reflex.
Yeah.
Yikes. Well, then, what time is it? Should I use my last hero point?
This is not a circumstance that Mag is like terribly comfortable in. Having her way blocked, especially if she can't shove this person forward. You know, they're in a corner. It's a tricky, like this, the way that Mag has been bottlenecked is like pretty crafty on the part of Isand Kalir here.
It is. I'm gonna do this because it's fun and awesome, and because Erica is my friend.
You're using a hero point card?
I'm using a hero point card. Shout out to Erica from Chicago for submitting this hero point card, which I am now blessed to use. The card name is Assured Assurance.
Mm.
The trigger is you make a check, which I'm about to do.
Yep.
Is this the episode where we actually like assurance?
Say again?
Is this the episode where we actually like Assurance, following up that review that Lars
It
read at
could
the
be.
beginning?
That might be the turning point for Assurance. Let's see what happens.
This is the episode where I like Erica from Chicago. The effect of this card. This Assurance comes assured. Your roll has an automatic result of 20 plus your proficiency bonus.
Okay.
Like Assurance, but 10 more. And my proficiency bonus for dexterity is, or for acrobatics,
yeah.
is 1.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a 21.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's enough to work,
No.
but I'm into it.
I'm into it too. Thank you, Erica, for this card.
Ooh, Erica.
As
Thank you.
Mag gets profoundly assured that this is going to work,
So assured.
but Asan Kalir waggles his finger back and forth.
Good.
Not
And Mag's way is blocked.
But I guess I can go ahead and, in the process of trying to get by, I'm sort of making a swipe at one of these phantom Isand Kalirs.
Sure, and I'll let you do that without the dazzled because you made such a generous plea for it. So it's like
Right.
as you're
Okay.
moving by, you try to do this thing because you are out of the pattern at this point.
And this is like an unarmed strike, basically. Just
Sure,
like
yeah, let's
taking
do
a-
that.
Taking a
Like the pommel of your hammer, basically.
the attack was a 22 to hit, which I know is going to miss.
So that misses, which means that the last of these images goes away, and you're just looking straight at Asan Kalir, which, I don't know if you've been paying attention, means that casting of that spell, which I'll just tell you now, was the spell mirror image, did basically nothing for me. Because all of the strikes against Asan Kalir were misses
Or misses anyway.
anyway. So I didn't soak up anything with that. So that wound up being kind of a wash.
Boo.
What a shame. What a
Boo.
shame.
Well, just trying to let you know what's going on.
Your other spell was so wildly successul.
It
You
was
think you're gonna-
cool. Hypnotic pattern,
garner pity?
everybody. Yeah, I want some pity. Can somebody think about my feelings, please? So that's it for Mag's turn. Mag bashing at Asan Kalir, struggling to get through, swiping at this denizen of Lange multiple times and removing along the way 2 images and clearing up this illusion that was right in front of her face. That's not too shabby at all. And with that, it is now Asan Kalir's turn. The beginning of Asan Kalir's turn, again, you see this energy fill him from this other place, from this other plane. And he starts casting a spell. And he says,
You will feel what she felt.
Oh,
and Mag feels her mind catch fire. And I need you to please make this will save.
Ho, 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 ho. 20 on the die. Crit success on the will save.
And
Nice work.
Mag just shrugs it off. And Asan Kalir says,
What happened? That should have worked. That should have worked!
And Mag, in response, holds up a finger.
absolutely correct. I'm so happy.
and Asan Kalir pouts for a second, snaps his fingers, and sustains the hypnotic pattern one more time. It is now Isthan's turn.
Cool.
Oh, does that trigger an attack of opportunity?
The spell
Shit.
would have, maybe, but I was too into the theatrics of the moment to
So
think
was
about it.
I. Wasn't thinking about it. I think so was Mag. So I didn't think about it until the sustaining of the spell, which I think we said doesn't. So it goes.
So it goes. It is now Isthan's turn, as this
Yeah.
hypnotic pattern strengthens and continues undulating in front of his face. What is Isthan going to do?
Well, since Mag has cleared out Asan Kalir's mirror images, that leaves Isthan sort of open to try and make a spell strike, which is what he's going to do now. And he's going to be using the expansive spell strike rules to use a spell I'm really excited about trying. I've never used this before, but Gale Blast, which normally knocks people back, but I don't think it's going to do anything. But it does target his fortitude.
Okay.
Whoa.
So we just got a bunch of dice rolls.
many dice.
Let's parse this one step at a time. I think that because of the way that Spell Strike works, I believe that we're looking at one check for the dazzle. So we'll take the first of those checks, whatever you rolled for that, because I think the system threw a couple out there. So let's just resolve this piece by piece by piece by piece. What are we looking at for this attack roll that Istin just swung out with the staff? And what are we looking at that first flat check to see if that hits?
Okay. So it's a 32, and am I reading this right that it's a 6? It's attached.
It's a 6,
that
yeah.
one?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So, 32. Does that hit?
That manages to get past Mag through the doorway and slam into a Sandclear.
Awesome. I think now he has to make a DC 23 Fortitude save to see if the Gale Blast goes off.
Okay. Well, I also don't I take the damage from the hit also?
Oh, yeah, which is 19 bludgeoning.
Okay, so 19 bludgeoning on a Sandclear. That's big. A Sandclear, you see the staff punch through the robes that he's wearing and find some sort of matter, some sort of tangible something there, finally, on a Sandclear.
Nice.
And as the staff hits, the Gale Blast gets funneled through. So now I make a Fortitude save. And I rolled pretty well, a 27.
All right. So I think that is a success. 'cause
Okay.
The DC was 23.
So how much damage do I take then?
So that's half damage, 9.
I think the half
So,
damage is going to be 4. I think
4,
9 is
yeah.
your damage roll, and half of that's going to be 4. So a big hit, 23 points of damage as this wind blasts into a Sandclear through the head. So big time from Istin as a Sandclear goes,
And then with his last action, he'll channel his breathing and keep the swirling wind energy sort of flowing around his body in little dervishes. And he will enter his Arcane Cascade stance.
all right, Istin drops into a magical stance, and we're now at the top of round 4. As Trill's lingering courage wears off of everybody around the room, we are looking now at potentially the tide of battle turning. A couple decisive movements against a Sandclear have brought him down, but the healing, he just keeps relentlessly healing every few seconds. Every time he would take a breath, you notice he doesn't. It seems like he does not breathe, but there's some sort of energy filling his body over and over and over again. Trill and everybody else is dazed as a Sandclear lurks in the darkness in the
You mean
hallway.
Dazzled?
Sorry, dazzled, you're correct. Dazzled as a Sandclear lurks in the hallway outside the room. What is Trill going to do?
Okay, so Trill's going to, for first action, I think, just in case, lingering comp again into Inspire Courage
Okay.
to keep that going for everyone.
A new song begins,
Amazing.
filling the room with inspiring words. But for how long?
For how long? That's a success. So for 3 rounds.
Okay.
It's a 30
Awesome.
total.
Thanks, Trill.
Thank you, Trill.
It's good to be a master.
And then Trill's feeling frustrated for Mag and is seeing Isan Kalir constantly avoiding everything. And so Trill's going to actually try and debuff him a little bit. And knowing that Fortitude's probably the best bet to target, Trill's going to go ahead and cast Ray of Enfeeblement.
Okay. So first off, we get an attack roll to set up the Fortitude save.
So that is a 25, which is a miss, and I have a whole bunch of hero points, so I may as well.
Use them or lose them
Use them or
is
lose
what
them.
the kids are all saying now.
Is there any
People
hero
are out there on the
card?
street. They're like, it's 120. It's episode 129 coming up. If they don't use them, they're going to lose them.
Yeah.
And the other kid is holding that first kid upside down off of a jungle gym by his feet, shaking the coins out of his pockets.
Use it or lose it. Use it or lose it.
They're saying, what are you talking about? Give me your money.
Talking about Pathfinder 2nd edition. Ow.
So that's gonna be a 31 to hit now.
That hits. That 31 absolutely hits.
Yes.
As you throw
How-
this, yeah.
Point. How often does the reroll hero point ever actually work for us? So rarely does
Yeah.
it
So
actually
rarely.
help
That's
just
right.
doing the
Well-
straight reroll.
Hold on a second. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's get a flat check from the dazzled.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey.
Do your flat check.
Roll a
You
2.
do your flat check.
I didn't. Well, I need the flat check for days.
For the ray of
Oh, right. Why did
enfeeblement,
it-
you're making an attack. It didn't do it because who knows why, but I need a flat check from you.
Oh yeah, it didn't do the flat check that it was supposed
And
to
if you
do.
fail the flat check, I'll
That's
give you a
weird.
hero point back. Because that's
Thanks.
ridiculous.
And that's a 5, which just passes, right?
That passes. Okay, so this ray of enfeeblement shoots over Mag's shoulder and lands straight on Hassan Clear, and he starts howling like as this green energy starts pouring all over him, and I'm going to make a fortitude save. It's a pretty good roll. 35, 19 on the die.
Dang, you were unaffected. Even a success, he still would have been enfeebled, but he had to get a critical success.
I had to get a
You
19.
had to roll. You had to roll a 19.
I had a 10% chance to do what I did. And I
What a
did.
jerk.
I'm a jerk.
What a jerk.
I'm a jerk. I'm a bad person.
You're a
I'm
jerk
not,
that we
I'm
love.
not I'm not nice. And you know what
are
else?
nice, but
I know, but the dice are
They
not
work
nice. But you know who is nice is
I tried.
Ao in the southeastern corner of the room sees this ray of magic that Isan Clear just shrugs off. She knows that he's immune to her, or not immune, but resistant to her precision damage. This is just a very difficult situation. What do you think Ao is going to do?
And the precision damage just comes from when I get the sneak attack.
Correct.
If I spend time making him flat-footed, it then may not pay off that much.
Yep.
Ao pulls out chompers and what noise did he just make when he almost got hit?
He went,
So Ao back goes, "Ah!"
Zoe, your voice, what are you doing?
I know,
would you do that?
Terrible idea.
she does it for the fans. She does it for the fans, guys.
These are the blood, sweat, and tears that we lay
Yep,
into
that's
every
right.
episode of this show.
Suffer for your art.
True loss. So Ao shouts back at Isan Kalir and fires 2 quick arrows.
Okay, so that means you're dropping the kukri. Because in order to shoot, you're going to need to have both hands free so that the kukri hits the ground.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's an 8 on the dazzled check, so that passes, and then a 24 to hit.
That misses.
It's a bummer. She fires again, still screaming. And that is a 14 on the dazzled check, so doing great there, and a 20 to hit.
That misses.
Bummer. That's a bummer.
That's a bummer. So Ao having trouble getting an arrow to land where she wants it to as well.
There's
Mag,
just pus everywhere.
our two main
That's slippery.
martial strikers having some trouble getting past the defenses of this spellcaster. It's an interesting situation that is going to be more interesting based on whatever it is that David does on Mag's next turn.
I'm just going to try and tumble through 3 times.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, for sure.
It doesn't work.
No, I'm going to start by trying to demoralize
Okay.
and get this fella a little bit more susceptible to being hit.
All right. And this is something that you are only able to do because that fascinated condition is gone. I think demoralizing requires some concentration. So there was a time a few seconds ago when this would have not been possible.
Yes. And instead, it's going to not work because I always fail this check.
Okay. And also,
Here
you got to pass
goes.
Dazzled also, for what it's worth.
Okay. The flat check to pass Dazzle is a 13.
Okay.
and then it's a 26 to intimidate.
Okay. That 26 misses by 1.
Oh, interesting. So, if Hassan Kalir were already demoralized by me, this demoralized me.
Yeah. Seems like it.
Okay. All right. Well, that was a good action.
And as you
like all my other ones. I mean, I would say Mag's level of frustration right now is absolutely through the roof. Mag has done next to nothing in this fight. She has been fascinated, dazzled, swung and missed a bunch of times, tried to just, excuse me, may I get by you to the other end of the hallway? That didn't work. I think maybe I had one strike do some damage in the last episode, but pretty much since we tuned back in here, all I've been doing is just swinging around. If only the air whizzing by from these missed hammer blows also did some damage. Let's try hitting it with a hammer again. That is, failed the flat check. Yep, that's a 4 on the die for the flat check. So that didn't work either.
Poor Mag.
So, David, I do want to remind you, you do have a hero point.
No, I've used them both.
Okay, never mind. I want to remind you.
Oh, no, that's right. I do have a hero point because the first time I was going to use it, I didn't actually do it. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and re-roll, I guess, the flat check.
Okay.
I'll use my last hero point to re-roll the flat check. Thank you, Lars. That was very thoughtful of you and generous. Here is that flat check. That's a 5.
Okay.
Hey!
5 passes.
So the 5 passes, and what did you roll on your attack roll?
28 to hit.
So that hits. So what that happens is Mag tries to demoralize Hassan Kalir, and Hassan Kalir is like,
You think you can show me fear?
as he gets slammed in the side by this hammer.
I'm here for that.
All right. And that is pretty good damage roll. 24 damage.
Okay.
Oh, there's our girl.
And
There she is.
he's looking afraid now. Like he's the demoralized did not frighten him, but you get the sense that the tactics are about to start changing. The countenance, you see his like eyes, these strangely reflective eyes suddenly take up a bit of fear in them as he gets socked by this hammer.
Yeah, Mag has entered the chat. All right, third action, another strike against Hassan Kalir. Let's try and finish the job.
I thought that was it for you.
Oh, no. Just one demoralize.
Yeah, no,
one strike.
you're correct. I just thought
And then
I just was wrong.
Right, the hero point was just an extra little wrinkle in action number 2. All right, flat check is a 12, and then it's only a 21 to hit.
Okay.
So that misses.
So that misses. Hassan Kalir is going to...
Does that trigger an attack of opportunity?
He's going to try to figure... At the beginning of his turn, he's going to heal up a little more as the
Nice.
energies from the planes beyond replenish his energy. And what Hassan Kalir now, he knows that you can strike him when he lets his guard down, so he's going to try to move down the hallway first. So he's going to move about 10 feet down the hallway so he can still just barely see Mag around like the edge of this door.
Well, if he goes 10 feet first, that's enough to trigger it, right?
Yes.
Blimps, please.
So this
Yeah?
he
Okay.
is potentially triggering this.
All right. So as he goes to move that swiftly away from Mag takes one more strike
Okay, I really don't want this to hit.
with Earthbreaker and failed the flat check. Yep. So all good there.
Okay, you failed the attack too, for what it's worth. It's
Oh,
not
okay.
just the flat
That-
check.
So that's like, I think it's been either 6 or 7 flat check rolls.
It's
and I've
been
failed, I
absurd.
think,
It's
5
been
or 6 of
yeah.
them?
Totally
That's
ridiculous.
Shit luck.
Yeah.
You've been getting the worst, rolls
So-
That's rough,
possible.
man.
So Hassan Kalir manages to slip into the darkness into the hallway, and Mag hears in her mind a message.
There are others behind those doors in that room. Open those doors and free the others. They will die if you do not free them.
Oh boy.
And I need Mag to make a will save.
Yeah. No shit. Okay. That's a 23.
Okay, so that's a failure, which means that you have to immediately follow this suggestion. Mag feels compelled to open these doors on the other side of the room. And
Oh boy.
Mag is going to spend 1 minute doing that until you have opened both doors and looked into the other rooms to free all of the other prisoners that he has inside of these rooms.
Okay, so I walk over to
On your turn.
on
On your turn. And he means these two doors here, these two closed doors that you have not been in, as he nails you with a spell that has taken over Mag's mind.
Well, it seemed generous when you reminded me about the hero point, but now it's probably what I should have saved it for.
And that's it for Asanclear's turn. Isthyn, it's Isthyn's turn. Isthyn sees Asanclear disappear into the hallway and suddenly sees Mag turn around and look at these like doors behind him as Asanclear is nowhere to be seen. What is Isthyn going to do?
Yeah, I think he will look confused, glance briefly at the doors too, confused, and then just kind of shake his head and stride, dashing past Mag into the hallway.
And as Isthyn runs into that hallway, he sees that the hallway stretches about like 30 feet down to the south, 35 feet down to the south, and Asanclear is standing there looking very badly injured about 10 feet away from him.
Awesome. And then Isthyn is going to close the distance and get up right in his face and try and hit him with his stick.
All right.
Yeah, hit him with a stick.
Stick him.
Yeah.
I like it.
You know, sometimes Mag has the right solutions to the problem. Smash. 14 on the flat check.
Don't need the
and
flat
a
check
35
anymore because you are not in
Oh.
the pattern. More than that, nobody is in the pattern. Asanclear did not sustain that pattern, and it is gone. This dazzle effect is now removed from everyone.
Sweet. So then with the Inspire Courage, that's a 36 to hit.
That hits.
Whoa.
Dope.
Nice.
18 bludgeoning.
Wait, 36, that was just a regular hit?
That's just a regular hit.
Figured out ass.
I guess when
Dang.
you hang out in Lange, for the most part, you're harder to swipe.
18 points of damage, and you feel Asanclear's body nearly collapse as you slam with the staff, but he is still up.
That didn't
All
do
right.
it. Oh my goodness.
Casteen
Quick
on
question.
Yes.
Do you think we could incapacitate him rather than entirely killing him yet? Do we need to ask him anything else? Should we just want to get rid of him? This is a Robin question rather than a Trill question.
that. I think
I don't feel like I've been enjoying this guy.
It seems like if we incapacitate, there's a chance that if he dies, whatever thrall Mag is under might go away. She might be convinced to
And that
keep
might
those
be
door
what-
closed
oh.
until we've
Also,
all like
if
whatever.
anyone's gonna go to a different plane because you've incapacitated them and then like rehabilitate and return,
That's a
someone who
good
can
point.
like disapparate into an alternate plane of existence seems
Nope,
like a
you got it,
bad.
Zoe. Yep. And that'll probably also help.
Yeah.
It's a really compelling argument made up of mostly nonsensical concepts. It's like if it goes to a plane, it's like I get what you're saying, but never before have I been convinced by something so fanciful.
Yeah.
Okay, Armat, we got one more action from Isthyn.
I'm gonna go big and possibly go home. He's gonna attack one more time.
All right.
And see if he can't smack that dude. But good. Map 5. Here we go. 23 to hit.
That misses.
Yeah.
Had to try.
You got any hero points left?
Oh, I actually do have.
Okay.
I have like a lot actually that I'm gonna lose.
Okay.
Nice, we'll use them.
Cool. I'm going to re-roll that. Thank you,
Yes.
Robin. That was
Squeeze all
really good
the
call.
toothpaste out of that tube.
The last time we did this, Lars infiltrated someone's mind. I'm just saying.
What about a 22?
That misses. So Isthyn digs deep, pulls a heroic strike out, but misses, and that means that it's the top of round 5. Let's shut this thing down, y'all. Asanclear is trying to flee down this hallway as this pattern has disappeared in the room that you were fighting him in. And here's the deal, basically. Istin is right on Isan Kalir's toes. Mag is facing the wrong direction, getting ready to open some doors. Trill and Ao are deep into the room that Isan Kalir called his home for maybe 400 years. Let's see if we can shut this thing down. It's Trill's turn.
So, Trill's response to him going around that corner is,
You're not getting away with what you've done to Doriana.
and she chases him down around the corner and is going to do what she do to do that damage she do. She's going to just magic missile this guy. Or is that... Because, piercing damage, he's
It's
resistant.
precision damage. That's
It's
like
precision,
special,
not piercing. Thank
like
you. Okay.
vital targeting
Fabulous.
damage. It's
Okay.
unrelated. How many actions are you using on this?
She's going to use all 3 actions.
So you had to run into the hallway, so you got 2 actions
So
left.
she's using 2 actions. Sorry,
Okay.
2 actions. And this is the level, she's using level 3.
So I'm going to tell you right now, I don't even want you to roll anything. Because here's what happens. These 2 darts of force magic fly past, these 4 darts of force magic, fly past Isthin's shoulder and pelt Isan Kalir one after the other. Gsh, 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 gsh. And as that 4th dart hits, Trill is brought back in her mind to the Otari Memorial 500. The
What a
moment
memory.
when Mag is standing in front of the crowd, trying to warn everybody about the danger presented by Zarmavdian, by the threat that exists, that is looming everywhere within Otari. And in Trill's mind, she flashes back to that moment where Doriana first screamed, let out this piercing, ah! And in that moment, Trill is able to look through her memory, and she sees the image of Isan Kalir tormenting Doriana, reaching this kind of psychic hand into Doriana and grabbing a hold of her mind. And then Trill is brought back to this moment in time, and it's like a perfect match. The way that she saw Isan Kalir then and the way that she sees Isan Kalir now, it's like the same face. And Isan Kalir says briefly,
You know I can't be stopped. Nothing can stop us.
and as he says that, you see him get pulled back slightly. He gets smaller and smaller as he's like being pulled into another place, like, and he disappears from this plane of existence, drawn back to the plane of Lange. And you know, based on the research that you've done, based on the conversations that you've had with Doriana, based on the fact that you have connected to Isan Kalir's mind directly, you know you can't kill him. You can only send him back to the place of dreams where he first came from. And you are confident that you have done that. And you are more than that, confident that whatever hold he had on Doriana is gone as he disappears from existence.
Woo!
Good riddance, you manipulative monster.
And we will pick up from there next time.
Whew.
And this then turns to everybody and says, well, that sure took a long time, didn't it?
of Ruin is a Tabletop Gold production produced under the Paizo Incorporated Community Use Policy, using trademarks and copyrights owned by Paizo that are covered under that policy. Paizo does not recognize, endorse, or sponsor this project in any way, and we are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. All original characters and content in The Roots of Ruin are the property of Tabletop Gold, and all rights are reserved. We at Tabletop Gold would love to hear from you. On our website, tabletopgold.com, you can learn more about us and our shows, pick up great merch, and connect to the best online community in all of podcasting. Thanks for listening.